What's going on, everybody? It is the Wolfman of Comedy, Big Adrian, coming back at you for another episode of Howling at Life. How you doing? Solo episode, freaking solo episode, yo. So we're a day late because there's a lot of stuff going on. So I have a lot of stuff to review, a lot of stuff to talk about going on here. But we're going to be doing a solo episode. Not even sure what's going on, but we'll be talking about a lot of stuff today. So thank you for joining me, all in the wolf pack out there, whether you're watching, whether you're listening. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Howling at Life. So let's get at it, everybody. It's a long ass cheering, huh? So I just want to let everybody know, you can always message me and comment on any of the videos. Please make sure you're sharing about any of the episodes, the current ones or the ones from previous. I will always get the comments, especially on Spotify, on my podcasters. But you can always see me on YouTube, or you can listen to me on Spotify, right? One of the things that ends up happening is I want to let everybody know you can always message me as well on my social media. That is Facebook, Big Adrian, all one word, Lopez. And my 3 Instagrams, which I have 3 different ones. You got Big Daddy L714, Wolf Daddy 714, and Big Adrian Comedy, all one word. I got the hiccups. Not good. So we're cheering for me for having hiccups. It's always weird when you have like hiccups or sneezes, everything at the wrong time. It always ends up happening that way. So apparently we're doing this episode with hiccups. That's what we're doing. So I want to thank everybody for joining me over the years, right, on the podcast. We're doing something a little different today. Wasn't able to do it yesterday because there was a very special thing that was happening, but I'll get to that. There'll be some reviews, stuff going on. I'll talk about some things today, some announcements going on as well, but a lot of things are going to be happening. So I'll try to fill up this episode as best as I can. Everybody, you'll just rock and roll with me. Just go for the ride, like I tell y'all. But we'll be talking about a lot of things that have been happening this week. So just a couple things. I'm going to kind of let everybody know there's going to be like a confessional. That's, if you're watching this on YouTube, I look like I'm in the confessional in the circle or some bullshit. I don't know, fucking Flavor Got Love or fucking, if everybody remembers that damn show. But a lot of things happened for me this week, so we'll kind of review some of those things. I know that I hit the movies with Spooky Bitch as well. That happened this weekend, so I'll be reviewing a couple of movies, as well as I will be looking at just something that happened. The reason why we couldn't do the episode yesterday on Sunday. I'll cover that as well. Then also, just to let everybody know, the next episode we have, I will be 1 year older, everybody. This Friday coming up is my birthday. What's going on? Look at that. I'm going to be 24 again. That's not what's happening at all. Not at all. Just letting you know. No, I will be turning 48 this Friday. That will be my official birthday. So the Sunday episode or whatever, the next episode coming up will be like pretty much my after birthday kind of deal. A lot of reflection going on. Something I always said, towards the end of the year, we have a lot of reflection that's happening. So I will be reflecting a lot in the next year. Hopefully we'll get some people on as well, like Frankie. I know he couldn't do it last night. I couldn't do it either. Spooky Bitch is next to me typing, doing schoolwork. That's some bullshit. So I don't know. We'll hear some bullshit from the side comments, probably, for sure. You hear her laughing. That's fucking stupid. I don't know why she's not on. But we're going to go, and there's going to be a lot of stuff that we'll be talking about for next episode. So let me kind of just review my week, first of all, y'all. I just want to let everybody know there's some announcements going on. So I've been waiting to finish this damn master's degree. I'm waiting for one fucking form from my supervisor, and then I will be completely finished with my master's degree. So tomorrow, hopefully Tuesday, he'll be signing this form, and I'll be inputting it, and that'll be done. Boom, master's degree. I'm very happy about it, but Jesus Christ, man, it took a minute. I've been waiting to finish this damn thing. It's been extending day after day after day, and I'll just be honest with you, I'm ready to get it done and see what we can do with that. But that's happening. Also, everybody, tomorrow's November 5th. Please make sure if you're going to vote, go out and vote, everybody, all right? Make a change out there. And if you're not voting, don't fucking complain. I'll just be honest with you. There's many years that I didn't, some years I didn't vote, and I was like, I can't believe it, but I didn't do shit. So if you're going to go vote, tomorrow's the day to go vote. If you're listening to this, make sure you're voting November 5th. Or if you already mailed in your ballot, good job. I know my parents did. They came visit me this last weekend. But hey, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's like Congress. But I have no idea what the fuck's going on. I just know they keep on sending me these fucking text messages, and they keep on sending me fucking emails and mailers, and people are knocking on my door about fucking Derek Tran or whoever the fuck it is. And I never even heard of this motherfucker, Michelle Steele. The only reason I know is because they keep on hounding me. I'm trying to watch my show on Netflix or fucking streaming services, and I keep getting hounded. It must be a very big election year because I am hounded. I don't know if anybody here, if you're tired of this hounding shit, I can't wait for this shit to be over after tomorrow. No more fucking hounding me about fucking election shit, okay? So I'm just letting you know right now, if you're gonna go vote, fucking vote. If not, just enjoy the fact that you're not gonna be bombarded with all this election shit. And I'm very adamant about this. I don't know why, but you know what I mean? I remember I was sitting here on Saturday, just chilling, whatever, and I get a knock on my door, and I'm like, oh, nice, who's this? And it was somebody, and apparently the people had somebody else at this address, and they knocked me out, like woke my ass up to get off the couch to answer the door, and it wasn't even for me. They're like, well, did you vote? I said, nah, dude, fuck that. That person left, fuck it. You know what I mean? They're not here today. So I don't know. I'm ready for my emails to be opened up and for me not to get the random text messages that I always have to stop subscribing to these damn things because everybody's got my damn number. Please stop. Please stop hounding. You'll get your votes that you need, y'all, whoever the fuck it is, but knock it off, all right? Just knock it off. So I just can't wait for that to be over. So if you're going to vote, go vote. I'm just going to let you know right now. It's a very big year for voting. So a couple things I wanted to kind of review today, and we're going to kind of mix and match topics and announcements and all sorts of stuff going on because it's a solo episode, so I get to do whatever the fuck I want, so it's great. You know, everybody, if there's always something you want to try, go and try and do it. I'm always a person that says, you know, you're going to have experiences, fuck it, either it's good or bad. Not going to lie, I'm a little anxious right now. There's a lot of stuff I've been doing productive, but last week I quit my my job that I had started like a couple weeks before. I'm going to applaud me for that. I did quit that job. I noticed it was a little overwhelming. I noticed I wasn't getting the training that what was going to help me be successful. I think personally, you know, whenever you're trying something, you know, you try it to the best of your ability, but you know, something I always say, you know, you're not locked into anything, okay? If it's a bad experience, stop trying to make it into a good experience. Sometimes the experience is just like, hey, this isn't for me. I came to that decision last week. It was a hard decision for sure. You know, me and my old job was like, yeah, if you want to come back. I haven't heard shit from this job. I'm still applying at other jobs as well. That's the only thing that really in my life right now is a little like, oh, I'm not sure. Just because I'm good financially for a couple months, but you kind of don't want to run out your savings, right? But look, anytime you try a new experience, go in there to try it, right? You're not going to go in there to try to see if you're going to fail or whatever. You're never going to fail because the thing is, you're going for experience. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If nothing else, you learned a little about yourself. If nothing else, say you learned that it wasn't the right spot, the right person, the right location, the right restaurant, the right movie, whatever the hell it is. So that's where I'm at. Last week, I actually did that for myself. And, you know, I'm always telling people, and it's funny because I wrote this on my little board because I've been working on insecurities this year. And I wrote on here, you have the confidence, now it's time to use it. No fear can stop you. I know that we're getting closer to the holidays. I know some people are starting to get stressed out. Some people are starting to do some stuff, and I get it. But even though holidays are coming up, I'm kind of seeing where I'm able to do things and what's going to go on here and what's not and stuff like that. So I think personally, whether you're going to try something, y'all, just try it. You never know if you're going to like it. You never know if it's going to fit you or suit you or not. But if you never try it, you'll never know. And so that's where I'm at today, even though I'm a little anxious because I'm not sure about my work or whatever. But at the same time, I learned through an experience. I went out, I tried it, it didn't work, cool. At least I got that on that. No regrets. You know what I mean? Go and try it, man. You know, I'm not saying to like just cut everything cold turkey like me, because you know I was able to. But I had enough in my savings, and I had enough things here and there. You know, that I don't have a little bit of money coming in still, but if you're willing to try something, you'll never fail. You're trying to see the experience, y'all. So that's where I'm at today. So just let you know. Don't get me wrong, though. I hope a job calls me pretty damn soon, yo, because I don't want to be stressing over the holidays. You know what I mean? But look, it's never too late to start something, to try and experience. I know that for me, I'm not working right now, so I was very productive today, doing a lot of things. And even this week, you know, I'm hitting the dentist tomorrow. I'm voting, and then I'm hitting the dentist. You know, there's some things that are happening this week, and you know, I'm trying to make them happen as best I can. But, you know, I think fear can easily stop us from trying things or doing things. And even right now, I was thinking about quitting the podcast. Whether y'all listen, whether you share it or not, I don't know. Leave comments, leave likes. You know, I know people are subscribing, you're hearing. But the last few episodes have been a little nerve-wracking. I was asking Spooky Bitch, and I was asking some people throughout this whole podcast experience that I've been doing, hey, should I stop doing it? I'm not really getting the numbers that I want. And, you know, I've heard a lot repeatedly, it's not really for people, for you to get the likes or the wants or all that kind of stuff. It's you're doing it because you want to put something out there. And so we kind of have to remember sometimes why we start certain things. You know what I mean? It's very easy to get discouraged. It's very easy to want to quit certain things. I know I do. Before I made that decision to quit, you know, my job last week, you know, I went through a couple of days of kind of processing and seeing what's going on. And last Wednesday, I was really hearing some things that I was getting some signs, right? I think you got to be open to the signs and really see where it's trying to swing you a little bit. You know, maybe it's trying to tell you, keep moving forward, keep with it. Maybe it's trying to tell you it's not the right spot for you. Maybe it's trying to tell you some different things. You just have to be open to those signs. So I think a lot of times fear can really mess that up. And like I said, especially towards the end of the year, or something's going on, or you're not sure what's going to happen with you. But, you know, that's where you got to kind of use that faith and support and all that stuff. So that's what I've kind of been doing. And last week got to go ahead and go to my stepdaughter's senior night. Aww. And I'm going to tell you right now, so Spooky Bitch got to walk her daughter, you know what I mean, onto the field. And it was funny because, you know, my buddy Sammy and my parents even came down from Vegas because, you know, I still consider her daughter my stepdaughter. And it was good and very emotional, very awesome to see her walking on the field. And senior night and stuff. So it was kind of cool. It was cool to do that. But fuck, it's been cold. I know this week it's going to be warm as shit, but it was cold as hell on Friday night, y'all. I had to bundle up, man. My mom had to wear like 3 blankets and stuff like that, but they still came out. We still enjoyed. And my parents got to take me out the next day for a pre-birthday breakfast, which was great. They got me a little birthday gift, which is cool, a little shirt with a wolf on top and some saying on the back. And me and Spooky Bitch actually were able to go hit a double feature movie on Saturday. We got to check out a couple of movies, and I really did enjoy them. So we're going to review them a little bit, and then we're going to review a little bit of what happened on Sunday. The reason why I couldn't record yesterday. So me and Spooky Bitch were able to see a couple of movies. So let me kind of go into with movie number 1 that we saw. So movie number 1 was Venom: The Last Dance. Oh my God. Okay, I'll be honest with you, month after month I've been seeing the previews for this movie, and I'll be honest with you, man, I didn't know what to expect. I was like, okay, it's a Venom movie, it's probably the last time he's gonna be Venom and stuff like that. My God, was I thoroughly enjoyed this damn movie more than I wanted to, actually. The bar was kind of set low for me to just go into this movie. But man, did they overseed it. The laughter, the action, of course the action, but the laughter, the jokes, the Venom, Tom Hardy kind of thing is really great the way they did it today. The storyline was awesome too. Really great movie. I loved all the stuff. If anybody's ever seen the movie, or if you have not seen the movie, I'll be honest with you, you have to stay at the end, and you have to stay for the second little snippet at the end of the credits. You have to stick around for it. But I thoroughly enjoyed what they did with this. I did not expect getting emotional, okay, at this movie. That's not what I was expecting from the trailers at all, from all the other Venom movies that I've seen. But this one was a little emotional, man. There's certain scenes in there that are a little emotional for sure. If anybody's seen the movie, you know what's going on. You can go ahead and comment and let me know, like, if you did get these mixture of feelings. But it was a great movie. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Totally what I needed. Wasn't expecting a lot of the, not really the story, but I wasn't expecting how funny it was. I wasn't expecting how good it was. I wasn't expecting certain people that popped up that they kind of brought in. It's not really cameos, right? But people they brought in from previous movies that I was like, oh, that's that person, that's that person. It was just really good overall, how they did it for sure. And then how they kind of signed off the whole thing. If you haven't seen it, I'm just letting you know right now. Go see it. It's a thoroughly enjoyable movie. Just go for the ride and you'll enjoy it. So the second movie, because me and Spooky Bitch, we both got the AMC passes, like Sexy Sasquatch and Frankie the Monster. We all have movie passes as well. But me and Spooky Bitch went and stayed to see a second movie. So the second movie that we ended up going seeing was Smile 2. Oh my God, that one exceeded my expectations as well. So from the trailers, you see what's going on. If you've seen the first Smile movie, you know the Get Down, you know what's going on. Even if you haven't, you know what's happening even from the trailers of Smile 2. Now, Smile 2, it does look like a continuation of the first movie, but not really. They kind of explain a little bit in the movie. I thoroughly was more tense and like anxious about this movie. There were some jump scares. Everybody knows the premise of this movie, but it was surprisingly better than I expected it to be from the trailers. Again, another kind of better than expected. The jump scares were crazy. The stuff that came at you, the horror scenes, the whatever the hell, it was all better than I thought for sure. Interesting enough that I jumped a few times for sure. I went with Spooky Bitch and she was like tensed up and I could feel her tense and I was like, fuck, stop, dude. But it was a great movie. The only thing is at the end, Spooky Bitch, I'm telling you right now, Spooky Bitch, Spooky Bitch argue with it because at the end of the movie, she looked at me, she goes, that was stupid. And it's just the ending. The whole movie's actually really good, but the ending can leave it a little bit confusing. Like what happened? Did it happen? Not happen? If you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I might go see that movie again with Frankie actually this Wednesday. I don't know.
Stupid.
See, I told you she was gonna make comments, dude. So the ending was a little lackluster. It kind of left you a little lost, is what happened. But the whole movie, if you go for the ride, it's very intense. There's some good jump scares going on. But like you heard from Spooky Bitch, the ending seemed stupid. Which I think is hilarious because she was cool the whole movie till the ending. She went stupid. I was like, got it, understood. All right, understood. So, great movie. Love the movie. I love the jump scares. I love what they did with it. And again, this is a movie that, as well with Venom, these are two movies that kind of kept on giving you the same trailer, so they didn't reveal a lot of the movie. You kind of thought you knew about the whole movie, but I'm glad that these movies, this was the same thing with the other movie that we saw earlier this year with, what the hell is the guy that plays Professor X and Split and all that, whatever his name is. What is it?
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy, thank you. So James McAvoy, it was the same thing with the latest movie that he just did, and they only played the same trailer over and over again. It kind of got you pissed off after months of seeing the damn trailer. But it opened it up for a lot of different plot twists. It opened it up to be able to allow you to experience the movie in a better light without the expectation, because you kind of knew what you're going into, but then overexceeded. Both these movies really overexceeded what I thought it was going to be. And I'm glad that some of these movies are not revealing the whole movie. I don't know about you, but I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I go to the movies and I see a trailer so much and so many different trailers of movies that at the end of it, I don't even have to see the movie no more because the trailer's already showed me the whole damn movie, okay? That is getting a little damn tiring. So Personally, I like the fact that the same trailers were kind of played over and over and over again, and they didn't reveal as much of the movie, so you kind of got a little bit more interested. You got a little more bang for your buck. You got a little bit more out of the movie for sure. I thoroughly enjoyed that. If anybody doesn't know, in Smile 2, Jack Nicholson's son is in the movie. You will see him in the trailers. He's even in the posters. He's the one with the smile with the white like jacket suit on. He totally looks like his fucking dad. Same creepy ass fucking white guy smile. What the fuck? But he's in the movie. He does a fantastic job. He plays a kind of like a major part, but not really a major part because like you have to see the movie. But he does a fantastic job for sure. But still has that creepy eyebrow smile thing like his dad, Jack Nicholson, which is crazy. They kind of look identical when they do it. But if you haven't seen the movies, I would recommend to go see the movies. All right, just to let you know. Oh, my thing's not working. Look at that. Yeah, there you go, there you go. Now I'm just gonna take it off. But I would thoroughly recommend that you go see the movies. I love them and stuff like that for sure. Smile 2 is it was intense. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? And like I said, not just the jump scares, whatever, but like it did leave you kind of on the edge of your seat, like what's gonna happen next. There's a lot of stuff in there that was very trippy for sure. Special effects, which the special effects were fucking fantastic. I loved the way that they kind of came off with different aspects, and especially like when I'm still editing this movie that we did, right? And the movie that I'm editing, since I'm editing the movie a few times a month, whenever I go to the movies, I'm always looking at different things like an editor. So in this movie, I started noticing a lot of their cutaway scenes, a lot of their where they cut the movies and this and that. And I started noticing this because I'm still editing the movie. So it's interesting enough to like go to the movies and kind of see like, oh, this is where they cut this scene, this is where they did this is where that music kicks in, this is where that happens, whatever. And it really does add to that dynamic. So seeing these movies is helping me after I kind of throw all my scenes in my movie to be able to go back and edit so I can know where to cut and know where to switch and know how to do this and know how to do that. And it kind of adds to the movie. So if you haven't seen it, y'all, please go. These two movies were actually really great. So now, like I said, we usually do this podcast on Sunday night, so by Monday morning it's all up and popping, but couldn't able to do that because my kids and Spooky Bitch, they all surprised me by taking me for my birthday to the Queen Mary for a wonderful on-the-ship seance, everybody. So can I just tell you how amazing it was to first get there to the Queen Mary? Now, the interesting part, y'all know, and some of y'all have gone, that they have the Dark Harbor Halloween deal that goes on at the Queen Mary. Well, apparently Saturday was the last night for the Dark Harbor. So we went Sunday night. So it was weird going there after, because normally every year I go to Dark Harbor or when it was Shacktoberfest at the Queen Mary, and it's all decked out like a carnival. It's a Halloween mazes. It's a whole thing. Now, we went the day after Dark Harbor finished, so it was weird to go in there because everything was like closed, dark. They're tearing stuff down. Parking was all like open, so it was a weird trip to kind of go there. So it was kind of cool to see like the behind the scenes of them ripping everything down, whatever. But it was interesting enough and it was awesome. What an awesome night and experience to go to the Queen Mary. Now, the reason why I wanted to go and do this seance, 57 Ghosts is what it's called. When me and Spooky Bitch went to Midsummer Scream, I remember that we went to one of the panels, and one of the panels was like the Queen Mary. I said, let's go, why not? And one of the gentlemen there was the guy that actually runs the seance. I guess he's been doing it for about a year. But he went and did the thing. I was like, that would be interesting to go to. So one of the things that they had asked me, I said, I'd really like to do a seance for my birthday, just to kind of check it out, see what's going on. So this takes place on the boat. Now, if you haven't gone to the Queen Mary in a while, of course, I'm not sponsored by Queen Mary, but I usually go, like I said, for the Halloween events, right? So Queen Mary is actually open all year round. They have different tours, appearance of hotel, and all sorts of stuff, which I didn't know a lot of this stuff. But when we went, it was cool to kind of go on the ship. So when my daughter finally got there, we're making all these pictures, whatever, and all my kids and everybody had gone. we got on the Queen Mary. So this is the reason why we couldn't do this, because the seance is like an hour and a half experience. It was like 7 to 8:30 is where the time slot was. So I couldn't do the podcast. I was trying to do it earlier, but I just wasn't feeling it. I'll be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to have the day to kind of just chill after like I left that last job. I'm still kind of like chilling from it. But when we got on there, we finally got on board and we waited. And when you get in there, it's an old school, like ocean liner feel. Like you see all these like videos of Carnival and all these Disney, whatever, these newer ocean liners. This one's an old school feel. That Queen Mary's got that old school wood still, you know what I mean? Like the shining carpet kind of deal. Like it kind of reminds you of The Shining, the long hallways, but then, you know, it's kind of a tight, close fit. So we got on there and the spooky factor is already there. We're enjoying just the vibe of it. It's like you could feel the history, right, of these kind of things. And it was great. We were able to do an hour and a half seance deal, and it starts off with a couple little stops that we go along the way. The gentleman, Michael, I forgot his last name, but Michael, the one that runs the whole thing, he goes there and he gives us a little history lesson about, you know, certain places where people have seen ghosts and certain people have passed away on the Queen Mary. And then he takes us into the seance room and he prefaces us to let us know that, hey, there's some things that might happen. You might feel some things. You might feel certain different ways. It's just the spirits happening. He does a really good job in investing. Now, some of the things you can kind of see that, okay, I understand how you did this. It was staged. Some of the things in the seance, though, I'll be honest with you, are some shit that kind of flipped my wig a little bit, and it kind of freaked me out. It kind of freaked me out because I didn't know how it was done. I don't want to give it away. If you look at my social media, you'll see some of the pictures going. But it was a great experience, an hour and a half. And then afterwards, we get a little like shock factor because there's certain things you'll see. I don't want to give it away. But it's a great experience. If we're going to go. They had to move it because of Dark Harbor, and some of the mazes were taking place kind of like near the old seance room where they usually do it. So we were in another room. So I would love to go back because it was such a great experience to do it in the original room. Now, part of the thing that was crazy about this is after the whole experience is done, you get out, a lot of us are talking with each other. We're like, hey man, did you notice this? And this happened. I think I did. This happens this way. I think that happened that way. Whatever the hell it was. And then afterwards, they're like, yeah, you can explore the boat. We explored the boat. Like me, my kids, the spooky bitch, her kid, fucking like all of us, like my son's girlfriend, my daughter's boyfriend. We explored the boat for about an hour, okay? Now, you do not let Mexicans loose unsupervised, okay, on a boat. We went everywhere. We went up to the top of the damn boat as best we could. We went to the butt of the boat. We went to the isolation. We rolled throughout this whole thing like 8,000 steps, okay? I'll just be honest with you. We walked for miles around this boat. What a great experience to be there. You can really feel the energies. You can see the history of stuff going on. You can feel different things. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a great evening. And then we went to go eat out afterwards. We ate way too much. Everybody was in a food coma. Like around midnight, I got home. There's no way to do the podcast after for sure. So I figured I'd get you a podcast today. But what a great weekend, pre-weekend birthday to start celebrating some stuff. And then this weekend, there's going to be some more stuff too that I know of that's going to happen. So Sunday when we do this, the next episode, I will be another year older because my birthday is on Friday. And there will be some more experiences to kind of go through and talk about. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about all of this stuff, right, is because even in my head, you know, our head can get the best of us, right? So when I left this job, I was very confident about leaving the job. I was kind of thinking that my old job or my last two jobs, they said they wanted to be back, but haven't really happened yet. So there's a little bit of discouragement that happens. Now, part of the thing, and I mentioned this before, and I mentioned this, you know, in previous podcasts, your head can really get the best of you, and it'll feed off of certain things. It'll feed off of like anxiety. It'll feed off of doubt, worry, discouragement. It'll feed off of a lot of different negative emotions that'll happen, right? And I think that, you know, this weekend, as much as my head was messing with me, I had to make sure I allowed myself to enjoy the moments, because your head will mess with you from being in the moment and enjoying the moments that are happening. And that's just me being vulnerable, man. That's just me being honest. It's just me and you all, right? I don't know who's gonna listen to this episode or not. Hopefully people will, and they'll tell people, hey man, you gotta listen to this guy, man. He was being vulnerable, honest. I don't know. But I wanted to be honest, and that's kind of the topic that I wanted to kind of go with, man, because when your head messes with you, it doesn't allow you to enjoy the moment or the things that are happening, and you can have some really good shit that's happening in the moment, man. But when your head's stuck into like all these negative emotions, man, it feeds off of it, and what happens is you don't get to enjoy the things that are happening right in front of you, man. And like I said, as we get closer to the holidays, your head's gonna mess with you a little bit, okay? It's going to get into a point where it's going to feel a little bit like, hey man, you're not good enough. Hey man, your insecurities are going to pop up. Hey man, your low self-worth is going to pop up. And then what ends up happening, even though, life is actually doing pretty well right now, right? I mean, I got stuff lined up. I got stuff going and everything's kind of okay for right now. And, but still, it's so funny how your head will feed off of these negative feelings. It'll take all these thoughts and twist them, and it'll take you away from being in that moment, right? Especially when good shit's happening. You know what I mean? Like when I was there with my parents, and we were there for my stepdaughter's senior night, right? We're in the moment, things are going on, and it could be easy that you're in a funk, or it could be easy that you're in a depressive mode, or you could be easy because you're pissed off or you're worried. And there's a lot of good shit that was happening on Friday. There was 2 good movies we saw, right? Me and Spooky Bitch went to go see 2 good movies on Saturday. And I was in my funk. I was starting to see where that my head was starting to feed in to some of that. Now, I always say use your tools. I always say use your support. I always say reach out, listen to a podcast, do what you got to do, work out, whatever the hell it is, right? But when you're in that negative mode, man, sometimes you just don't want to do nothing, right? You just want to sit there and sit in that funk. You know what I mean? And so I'm glad that I was able to recognize it early and say I didn't want to let that take over me, because I would have missed 2 good movies, man. I wouldn't have been able to see and enjoy them. Let's just put it that way, right? Same thing happens with yesterday. Excuse me. You know what I mean? When I was with my kids and stuff. And if any of y'all have seen my social media, you see that I posted some pictures of me and all 3 of my kids, man. It's like it's very rare we get together. But think about it, man. There's probably been times in this last year, maybe in this last month, maybe in this last week, that your head was messing with you, man. And your head was messing with you, and it took you out of being in that moment, right? And maybe there were some good things happening, and you just weren't able to click into them. You weren't able to connect with them. You know what I mean? And that's part of the thing that I was really happy about that this weekend. And don't get me wrong, like I had to be productive today and I had to do some stuff, and tomorrow and Wednesday, and I think Thursday's gonna be a chill day. Friday might be a chill day for the most part until like my birthday celebration starts going on and continuing. But it's very easy to feel like you're not worthy or you're not deserving of good moments, because again, your head's feeding off that negativity. There might be some stuff in there that you still haven't worked on. There might be some stuff in there that you thought you were cool with, but it just pops up in the wrong moment. And for anybody watching or for anybody listening, you can always comment or hit me up on social media, and you can always tell me like, yeah, dude, I've had those moments, man. It's so weird that I was probably like at a party, or I was at an amusement park, or I was supposed to be enjoying like some downtime at my house or something, and my head just wanted to mess with me. I felt like I had to do more, or I felt like I wasn't doing enough, or whatever. I felt like I didn't deserve the good stuff that was happening around me, man. And I've had plenty of those moments, y'all. I think that if you think back, and you really think back, think about how many times your head has messed you up from being in the moment, man. It makes those moments harder. It makes you not be able to tune in to blessings and stuff that's going in. Some of y'all may be listening, man. You might be recalling a little bit. Like, man, I remember, man, there's a few times that happened, right? And it's so weird that it happens in these moments. And years ago, it was interesting enough for me that I had my buddy asked me, he goes, how many of those moments have you missed, right? By letting your head take the focus, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, wow, what a trip. Because I don't know, as I get kind of older, you know what I mean? Like, my time is precious, man. You know what I mean? And I want to enjoy as many moments as I can. I want to be able to enjoy what I can. You know what I mean? And it's not always easy. Again, sometimes we're financially strapped, or maybe you're stressed out, bills and all that kind of stuff, right? Responsibilities. Or maybe even your schedule's off. You know what I mean? Like, you got the kids, you got the job, you got the this, you got a lot of stuff going on. And it's hard for you to kind of enjoy the moments. Interesting enough, lately, I've been seeing a lot of people on my social media, especially on my Facebook, that have been struggling. They're back in the hospital, or somebody's dealing with some kind of illness or whatever. And some of these people, you know what I mean, the physical, pain or illness, man, will mess up and feed into your head as well. All those negative thoughts we were talking about, you'll start getting a little worried and concerned. And some of the people on my social media, they reach out, but you can tell, even though they're reaching out, like, they're not really receptive of the support to get them out of that funk, to get them out of that negativity, man. You know what I mean? You got to be open. If you're going to reach out for help, don't just blast yourself on social media to play the victim and the pity party. Make sure if you're reaching out on social media, you're reaching out because you want a lifeline, y'all. Because there's many moments that I know people will do this, and I've been guilty of this. This is why I stopped doing it. If I'm reaching out because people are trying to give me stuff, and this is something even Spooky Bitch will tell you, because I've been trying to really practice with my sponsor squad, with anybody that's listening. If I'm reaching out for help, I'm being more receptive now. If people are like, hey, it's going to be okay, I'm like, okay, right? Even though I might not believe it, but I'm at least receiving it, okay? Because the help is there, okay? The help is supposed to be there to help move you forward. I have learned lately that my head will mess with me from being in the moment, but if you're reaching out in the moment, you got to be open with an open hand and an open heart. Because think about it. Look, say you're in a funk, and some of y'all, just remember, if you were ever in a funk, if your head was messing with you and you just weren't in that moment, it was hard for you to be in the moment, right? Think about it. Has your head ever fucked with you to the point where, like, people were reaching out, right? And you were so in the moment that you were so resistant that you swatted away the help. Hey, man, it's going to be okay. No, it's not. You don't understand. Or whatever the hell's going on. I've been very, very guilty of this. And some of y'all listening or watching, out in Wolfpack land, you probably done the same shit, especially when you had a rough day, especially when you're going through some shit, especially when your head's messing with you, especially when you're in your funk. Some of y'all will push away the help and you'll block it, right? Even though people are willing to give it to you. They're willing to give it to you. They're trying to reach out. They're trying to support you through this moment, or they're trying to get you to click in, like, hey, bro, okay, cool. You know what? You're in your funk, but let's go out. Let's do something. Let's get you off the couch. No, I don't want to do nothing. Fuck it. You know what I mean? You have to be open to that help. You cannot just post your shit out there. You can't just throw your cards on the table and help you, not let somebody else help you not to shuffle those fucking cards so you can get a better hand in your deck, okay? It's very important, everybody, during this time of year that you are more open to the help and the support of people trying to get you through the holidays. Because it's true, man. One of the things I'm hoping, if you listen to this, or we get any people listening to these podcasts or not, or whatever, my wish is that everybody gets through the holidays, all right? I mean, Quincy Jones just passed away. Rest in peace, Quincy Jones. Gave us a lot of decades. That motherfucker was old as fuck, man. He was 91. He gave us a lot of good music throughout the years and stuff. There's a lot of people passing away. There's a lot of life happening with some people. A lot of people are going through some shit. Look, while you're going through some things, man, you can't let your head make things worse by you blocking the help that people are trying to offer you, okay? One of the biggest things that I've seen with people is they expect that they got unlimited, help in reserve, okay? People are trying to reach out to you because they don't want to see you in that funk. They don't want to see you falling. They don't want to lose you. You know what I mean? So a lot of the times, you got to be able to, even though you're not feeling it, be open to it. Maybe there's some words that people are trying to say to you. Don't be like, no, you don't understand, whatever, because we have all these fucking barriers and statements that block, that help from coming in. Especially like when they say, when your head's in that moment, right? It uses whatever it can to make a bigger wall that it needs to, right? And then you're stuck, you're lost. You're still in that place, and you're just pushing people away, right? But you got to understand something. People are human, okay? They're taking their time and their effort to try to help you. They're noticing something about you. They care enough to say, hey, look, like something's off. What can I do to help? Or like maybe give you some words of encouragement, or maybe give you like a little good morning text or whatever the fuck's going on. Hey, if you're in one of those moments, hit me up on social media. I'll help you through it, man. You know what I mean? People have been doing that lately anyway. So, you got to make sure that you're doing your part, right? Because your head is going to mess you up from being able to enjoy moments, or being able to maybe even see that, you got some good shit happening in your life. Even if you're challenging yourself, even if you're trying to move forward, right? Dude, we're meant to move forward. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's so interesting. When we were at the Queen Mary yesterday, me and everybody were at the Queen Mary, like on the outside of the boat, right? Because it's docked in Long Beach, right? And I saw the outside of the boat, there was this huge old anchor. And in the back of the boat, you could see there's this room where you see these big ropes that they use and some of the gears and shit. It was fucking trippy how big, like all the things that they use for ships. But on the outside of the boat, before we got on the ship, I remember seeing that there was an anchor. There's a huge anchor, right? Big old anchor in the front of the boat. It's up there, it's attached, but like it's a big anchor. And that ship is meant to move forward. The anchors are only meant to make it dock. But like somebody had told me many years ago, ships are meant to sail on the ocean, not just to stay docked. They're just docked because they're paused. Part of the thing is, some people are trying to give you their wind. Some people are trying to give you their momentum. Some people are trying to give you their spark and their motivation to move forward. But you keep putting anchors on to make it fucking more difficult. And the reason why people are trying to do that is because they give a shit about you. They love you. They care for you. They don't want you to just be docked. You know what I'm saying? Because you stay docked so long, you start getting like a little stagnant. You start getting complacent. You start getting a little low. Your motivation, your hope, it starts lacking. You know what I mean? So part of the thing that I realize is you got to allow, when people are doing this, use what they got going on. It doesn't mean it's going to change your headset. It doesn't even make change your situation, or maybe it's not even going to change how you're feeling. But at least you're not staying stuck in the same place, and you're not keeping that anchor stuck there where you're not moving at all. And that's the truth, everybody. There's tons of things that are happening around the counties and whatever during the holidays. If you can volunteer or whatever you can do to get out of your funk, man, you got to get your ass in gear, man. You got to get in action. I know I'm not working. I put in some applications. I got some people hit me back up. I was so productive with my day off, man. I ran and donated. I fucking went and handled some money stuff, right? I got a little bit of groceries, cooked, did laundry, checked out whatever I could do for school, watched some TV, took a nap. I mean, I did so many things, man, today, because I know for me, I have to be able to not stay stuck where my head's at, especially if it's in a low point, okay? If it's in a low point, I'll be honest with you. Like, just like the ship, you know what I mean, the Queen Mary, when you look at the Queen Mary, you're like, man, it's a big boat. But what you're not seeing is there's also a big portion of the boat that's under the water, right? That's what's keeping it afloat. One of the things is, when the water is too low, the boat can't float. It's going to tip over, okay? So if you're at a low point, it can be easily anything in life, right? Especially when your head is messing with you. It can be easy to tip you over in life. Then what ends up happening? Your boat's screwed. You can't even do nothing no more. You know what I mean? It's just stuck. And now you can't even get the boat back on the water because it's tipped over. We don't want you to get tipped over here in this podcast, yo, man. None of my squad, no whatever. I don't want none of y'all, nobody here in Wolfpack Land, or anybody just listening for the first time. I don't want y'all to stay stuck and have your bit tipped over, your ship tipped over. I want you to be out in the ocean and enjoy that fucking water going on, y'all. I want you to be out there and go on those voyages and those journeys, man, because that's where we're supposed to be. I mean, even though my head wants to mess with me and be like, yo, man, you don't have a job, whatever. Yeah, but my finances are cool, man. I'm good for another 2 months. If I really need to stretch it, I can do it. I can handle it. Even if I gotta fucking eat fucking, top ramen for 2 weeks. Fuck it. Done it before. I don't give a fuck, right? Because I know it's not gonna be like that. Part of the thing with your head is when you're in a low point, it makes it seem like you're always going to be in a low point. Maybe you're just in a low point right now. Maybe it's just a moment thing. Maybe it's just a week thing. Maybe it'll take a couple weeks. I don't know. But one of the things is you gotta not lose the hope. You can't lose the, hey man, it might, the wind, the situations and the wind and stuff, it might change in my favor. You know what I mean? When your head's messing with you and it's feeding all the negativity and all that stuff, and it seems that hope is almost lost, right? It's very easy to lose that motivation. It's very easy for you to lose the fight inside you. And let's get real. It's just probably a momentary thing, man. You know what I mean? Like, I know that this weekend there was a couple things that were going on in my head, but I also noticed there was a couple things that were going to happen. And I was like, well, let me kind of be part of these things and enjoy. It was very easy for me to get into my depressive mode on Saturday and be like, you know what, I don't want to go nowhere. I just want to sit in my patio. I think I even told Spooky Pix that shit. So I'd rather just sit in my patio and just smoke some cigarettes, whatever. And I was like, you know what? Let me get up, take a fucking shower, right? I trimmed my hair on fucking this week, you know what I mean? So it looks like nice and pretty, right? But I said, let me get up, let me get ready, throw some clothes on, let's go hit a fucking double feature movie. Fuck it, let's go use our passes. We haven't used them for a while. So that's what I did. You know what I mean? And I got up and I'm glad I did, because my head was telling me the opposite. My head was telling me, just stay put. Don't do nothing. You know, you don't deserve it. Why you should go out and enjoy yourself? You're not even working, whatever. Man, my head was fucking me hard. But I'm glad that, you know what? I heard my head, but I wasn't listening to my head. I'm glad that I was able to get myself up for the people that were trying to reach out to me. And it wasn't like a lot, you know what I mean? But my head was just starting to get into that spearheading. And look, y'all, you know when your head's starting to go into that mode. You know when it's starting to kind of fuck with you. You know when those fucking gears are starting to go and you're starting to hear that little fucking, that little script that's going on that's telling you, you're fucking up. You're not in a good spot. You should stay here, whatever. Nobody gives a fuck about you. All that negative shit. You got to make sure that you allow yourself to not feed into that, man. Because when you start feeding into that and you continually listen to that script, you're going to start believing that fucking movie, man. And what's going to end up happening is, dude, you're screwed, man. And I don't want that for anybody. You know what I mean? We get a lot of depression happening this time of year, a lot of addiction, relapsing, whatever the hell's going on. Because we feed into that script, y'all. All of us need help at some point. All of us have low points at some point. All of us aren't always on a fucking, grand slam hitting fucking, game every fucking day of our lives, man. You know what I mean? There's going to be ups and downs. It's just the fact is, we don't like the downs, right? We don't even know how to fucking deal with the downs. All we want is ups, 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 ups. Life doesn't work that way. That's why you got to howl at it. If you got to howl in the low points, it's not going to feel like when you're howling at the high points. You know what I mean? But as you're going through your day, you know what I mean, and your weeks and your months, man, you're going to have those highs and lows. It doesn't mean you stop howling, right? It doesn't mean you give up. It just means you got to maybe howl in a different tone. Maybe it's got to be a little like lower howl, or maybe when you're in a low point, that's when you got to build up that howl even better. You know what I mean? I don't just enjoy the good moments, man. I got to enjoy the other moments. I was able to get my bike back this weekend too, which is great. They didn't find nothing wrong with it. So I was like, beautiful. It's got a full tank of gas. I'm ready to rock and roll with that thing. I'm good. You know what I mean? There's a couple of high points that happened this weekend. And I'm glad I fucking was able to see them, because my head was really trying to mess with me in that aspect. So please, everybody, during this holiday season, man, know that you might be going through a low point, but it ain't a low life. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying to y'all. So listen, y'all. I want to say thank you for joining me for the solo edition right here. There's a couple of announcements I'm going to say. I believe at the end of this month, I'm going to start these motivation things. It's going to be Wolfman Wednesdays. I'm going to try to pop them in on Tuesdays just to give you a little 5-minute deal. I'm going to see how I'm going to do that. So we can do them on Spotify as well as on YouTube. Just 5-minute, little 4 or 5 minute motivational things to get you through the Wednesday so you can get through it. Don't just get over it. That'll end up happening. I know I got to finish editing this movie for sure, because I need to get this done this month. So that'll happen. And there's just a lot of things that are going to be happening, y'all. And let's get real. If I let my head mess with me, none of the things are going to get accomplished. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of life still left for a lot of us to have and to move forward and enjoy some moments, man. So, you know what I mean? Thanks for joining with me for this solo episode. I hope you got something from it. Much love, everybody. Again, make sure you share, make videos, tell people about the podcast and everything like that. For everybody else, man, keep listening and keep rocking and rolling. But please share this, man. That we need some message of hope, motivation, and love this holiday season, y'all. So I'm glad that if you're joining me for another episode, I love the fact that you're joining me for it. But thank you, everybody, for joining me for another episode. We'll go out like we always do, everybody. Thank you for listening and watching.